I've been having the worst time since last night with Linux Mint. I cannot figure out what the fuck it is. I'm just simply trying to do the most basic fucking setup in the world. Just so I can, actually use my system. But the more I try to update it to the latest version, because I'm literally 1 point off, the more I try to update other things, the more I try to just simply get certain things to work, like, I don't know, it to recognize that this monitor fucking exists, the more I keep running into this exact type of fucking problem with all sorts of things, including uninstalling things like GIMP, which I got off of their software manager store, right? Okay, cool. So it keeps giving me file corrupted. Apparently, like 99.9% of all files are corrupted, and it's always like the wrong hash, is what it always keeps claiming. I can't uninstall GIMP because it claims it has a bad hash in it, and thus it's corrupted, and it cannot therefore somehow uninstall the thing. And then what happens usually when I try to, try again, my computer completely fucking bricks, and it just locks the fuck up, and it doesn't do anything. To where I'll put it up in editing the picture I took, because it literally does something that's very malware-like, and I can't figure out what in the flying fuck that's about. The only thing I can think of is all of this is happening because of the fact that the only possibility of malware or Trojans or whatever else is literally one of these apps that got off of their own software manager. That is literally the only possibility. Because I've never had any issues, I never had any malware or anything like that on my system with the Windows. It's just once I installed Linux Mint, this shit's happening more and more and more. The more I try to fucking install an update, the more I try to update or uninstall anything, the more the corruptions happen, the more it locks up, the more it bricks, the more other problems happen. And it's just really fucking frustrating. And this is literally on the brink of completion of the full update being completely installed. It's literally right on the cusp, right on the brink, right at the apex, and then it just breaks. It just breaks. So this time it's automatically removing packages, automatically doing a retry apparently. So that's new. I don't know how that happened, but apparently it just continued, it didn't just tell me that. So we'll see how this goes from here. Also, I don't know if this is normal, but you notice this monitor doesn't work on boot, because of course I had to restart it. And then this comes up, and I don't know if this is the most normal thing ever, is the grub keeps coming up. But, you'll see, boom, Linux Mint logo, not on this monitor, doesn't exist. But it's on this monitor. Then, you'll notice that swap, right? That goes dark. Starts up on this one. No signal. Boom. Out. You go into the xratter command, and it claims that this monitor is disconnected. It's not connected via VGA, DisplayPort, HDMI, or whatever that third one or fourth one is. So that's something else I have to troubleshoot and try to figure out. I browsed the Linux Mint forums, I browsed other forums, I've looked at other sources, and I can't fucking find a solution for this shit. And it seems like it's potentially problematic when you have older hardware. I have an RX 580, Radeon 580, or 580X I think is what it is. Radeon 580X, so AMD graphics cards. And it's mostly NVIDIA issues that you see, so I might be fucked on this front too. I hope I'm wrong. If anybody knows how to fix that and get that fucker to work, hopefully without me having to fucking type in a bunch of fucking code into a stupid fucking command prompt, a terminal, that'd be great. Because I don't want to learn any fucking coding because I fucking hate that so much. So if I don't have to go through the tedious process of fucking coding shit through a fucking terminal to try to diagnose a problem and then fix it, that'd be great if you have a fix that doesn't include that. But it seems like every single fucking forum post I've ever looked at, you have to use the terminal and you have to basically do coding. Which pisses me off, because that's the stupidest thing in the world. But anyway. You tell I'm frustrated. Now there's 2 updates available. For fuck's sake, why? Evil. Now it's mint icons, which is actually, I think it was the mint Y, is why it broke before, and it kept saying it's a corrupted cache. And the Google Earth Row stable has another update. We'll see if it'll behave itself this time. It prioritized Google Earth apparently first, but I don't know why it would do that rather than itself. But sure. Let's see if it fucking gives me a corrupted hash again. And just swap right back to Google Earth. No, apparently it was fine this time. How do you explain that either? And then why did it do that? What? Why? Why does it... No signal detected. What do you mean? What? Like, literally, what is going on? Explain this to me. What is it about apparently having installed Mint, replacing Windows on my system, that causes all this illogical shit to happen? Why did it do that? Why did installing 2 updates cause my computer, via Mint, to think, oh, there's no monitors connected now to either fucking... Neither of these are connected, apparently, to the system now. Why? What could possibly cause this kind of bullshit? Troubleshoot that, because this literally doesn't have a logical explanation. Like, what? Why? Why? What in the... This shouldn't be a thing. Nobody should have to deal with this bullshit. What? Fucking seriously? I manage 6 fucking channels on top of it, dude. Like, I can't fucking deal with this. For the love of God, if you can tell me what the fuck's happening, why it's happening, how to fix it, please. That'd be amazing. I'll put my fucking, my Xander stuff up there, and I'll put my fucking system information up there too, so that you can actually fucking see it in editing. Because obviously, unfortunately, everything seems to require terminals and coding with fucking Linux. Let me know. Because obviously, I'm probably gonna have to, for the 3rd time today, and that's in like a 2-hour span, have to forcefully, manually shut my computer down in order to access it again. For the love of God, please help a guy out. This is fucking ridiculously dumb. Also, for the record, I have tried all the usual keyboard combinations and other things. I've tried the escape button, I've tried the tilde, I've tried Alt-Tab, I've tried Alt-Control-Delete, although I know that's a Windows thing. I even did Alt-F4 for the fuck of it. Like, just to try to get it to work. It's still thinking there's no connection to any of my monitors. So yeah, I gotta go and do this now. And then a bunch of people are gonna tell me, nope, that's probably what's partially fucking your computer over and your system over. You're ruining it because you're corrupting it because you do that. Explain to me what the fuck else am I supposed to do? Seriously. Because I'm about to fucking punch God out of the sky. It's pissing me off. This is why I hate tech so much. Nothing about technology makes sense. It pisses me off so much. This is why I sat on that fucking boot install for Linux since December. Until last night I finally installed it in near the end of June. Because we might lose our ability to even have an option anymore. Because the government and Microsoft want to take away our ability to be able to do that, and they want to detect it, just like they're doing that with graphene on fucking phones in Android with Google. They're literally coming out and saying it publicly now exactly what their intentions are, or their goals are, what they want. Which is why, and all the shit they're doing against these things, and the attacks they're putting on it, the bricking of systems and phones and everything else they're doing with these systems, which they've literally said they want to do. They want to basically prevent you from using your system if you ever dare to try to go against them and try to retain any amount of your privacy rights. That's why I had it installed. That's why I was ready to go. And then yet last night I said it's now or never. And this is what I fucking get. This is what I get. Like, which is exactly, like I said, why I was so cowardly sitting, waiting to even install Linux on this fucking system and replace Microsoft on it. Because I was scared this kind of shit would happen. It's literally fucking happening. How do people like tech? You have to genuinely have a mental health issue if you like tech. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. It's staying black the longest now. I just started it up after having it off for quite a while. Since the last time I just got done with it and I said, fuck this. It's just staying black now, after I logged in. Like, one thing after another after another. Why is it that every single time that I actively choose or I need to turn on my computer again after I've turned it off, since installing Linux Mint, does another problem happen? And it's not really so much, I guess it's a minor problem, it's a problem at all, but it's just really annoying, is that I've noticed I turn it, come back on, now numlock is off, but either cap locks is also off, and so everything's off, or, like what just happened, numlock is off, but cap locks is on. Like, what would even cause that? Why is it that I install Linux Mint, and then every time I shut my computer down, or restart it, it turns off numlock automatically? Like, what, how does that make any sense? Why is it still stuck on a black screen? Why do I not have a desktop, right? Like, what? Something else I didn't mention, the last time I was running this, I lost the ability to close out windows, because randomly there just wasn't an X on any window. You open any window, there's no X. It didn't show up correctly on the windows either, and so I could not close anything down. And then once again, what did it do? It bricked. It fucking locked the hell up. So I like, it's literally just Murphy's Law. Like, one thing after the other, 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 it just keeps happening like this. I don't know, this is why I'm documenting it too, because I want to see if all of this collectively somehow can help you give me an answer if you're knowledgeable with tech, if you're knowledgeable with Linux, like, and fresh installs. Like, what the fuck is going on? How can you explain any of this? How do you fix anything? Can it be fixed? Or is my system somehow now just completely fucked? Like, what are my options, genuinely? Because it doesn't seem like I have any. And I have to have options, because I cannot replace my system. This is, my whole life's on this fucking system, as sad as it is to say. It's true. Like I said, I manage 6 channels on YouTube. Like, I cannot have my system be bricked. I need this fixed as soon as possible. I literally have a deadline to edit and finish editing and upload a podcast episode on, which is one of the, of course, the 5 channels I have. Also, editing and uploading multiple clips from our podcasts, previous episodes. That's the second of the 6 channels that I have to manage. And I can't even do any of that. I can't edit any of it. I can't access it if this is the kind of shit that keeps happening. Or it keeps locking up. Or it keeps just malfunctioning or not functioning. I had something, one of these restarts that I had to do, where when I turned it on, it gave me just a little bit of a code up here, just a tiny code, right after I got to the desktop. Apparently I must have tried to, like, use my system too soon after it started up or something, because, you know, it literally locked, basically gave me a black screen crash, and then all of a sudden wrote a code up here and said that something that started with a C, I couldn't remember what it was, failed to load or something like that, and it literally completely restarted, like, what would be equivalent to Windows Explorer. And then it locked up again. Like, tell me this isn't like a classical kind of like mid-early 2000s malware level kind of bullshit going on with this thing. And again, like I said, I know for a verifiable fact I never had anything close to a Trojan horse, to a virus, or to malware on my system at all. Not even down in the BIOS and the boots, the boot loggers. So the only time this happened was once I got Mint installed. That is when all of this started happening all at once. It is a literal Mint exclusive issue, fucking save a guy's ass, please.